I know that you may not be able to see this very well, so that's why I wanted you to have it open on your screen, because you can't see what I'm, really talking about, but you can at least see where I am on the screen. This is EDUC 3002. It is a required class for all education majors. It does meet at 9, 10, and 11 a.m. on Mondays and Wednesdays. Okay? If something happens and you have a doctor's appointment that's going to land during the 11 o'clock class and you want to come to the 9 o'clock or the 10 o'clock, that's fine with me. You may have to sit up here, on a desk, in a chair, but you can still, attend class that way. You can see my office hours are listed here. I am in my office from 8:30 to 9 o'clock on Mondays and Wednesdays. I'm also in my office from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock. However, I do have this room reserved until 12:30 after our class. So there may be times that I'm kind of doing office hours in here because someone in the 9 o'clock class says, hey, I've got a problem, and I'll say, come back in here at 12 and I'll help you with it. Okay? So if I'm not in my office upstairs, I might be in this room, and you can come find me. I'm in my office from 12 until 2, and then on Mondays and Wednesdays. Then on Thursdays, I'm in my office from 12 until 3. Now, I understand that you might be in class exactly when I'm having office hours. So if these office hours if that just doesn't match up with your schedule, email me and let me know, and we'll try to work something out, okay, to set up an appointment that's outside of those times. Also, on Tuesdays, I try to set that day aside for grading student work. And I have about 50 advisees, hopefully that's all. And right now I have around 120 students in this class, and I teach another class, and I have 100 students in that class. So I have a lot of work to grade. That's what I'm saying. So I try to reserve Tuesdays just for grading work. You see my phone number here. That's my phone number for my office. That's a phone that's attached to the room. I can't take it with me. And so really and truly, email is probably a faster way to communicate with me. I almost always take this iPad with me everywhere I go and can check email, and I know right when I get an email and that sort of thing. Phone messages do forward on to my email, so I'll hear from you either way. I'm not going to read through all of this. I want you to come back and read through it. There's not going to be a test over the syllabus, so you can skim over it. But just become familiar with it. So I'd like for everybody to scroll down now to page 7. And let's talk about the textbooks. The textbook information I've already emailed to you early in August, and then last week or so I emailed it again. The textbook that you need is Teachers Discovering Computers, Integrating Technology in a Connected World. You want the 7th edition. So it looks like this, and you can, matter of fact, if you haven't already purchased one, I really suggest you just rent a copy of it. If you want to do the electronic book, that would be wonderful. You don't have to have a hard copy of the book. If you want to buy a used one, there's probably a lot of students from last semester that still have their books, or you can get a used one at the bookstore. Okay? So that's the textbook. The other thing that you need is to have live text. And for live text, I think it's a pretty good deal as far as the amount of money that you are going to spend and the amount of use you're going to get out of it. So here, and so there's a little bit of glitchiness going on of recognizing things like what we just experienced. Okay, with live text. You're going to use live text in this class, and you're going to use it in your future education classes too. So it's like a textbook that you're buying, and you're going to keep using it all the way through to internship. You can purchase it for the Field Experience Edition is $113. You will use it for your classes that you have field experience in, such as Practicum 1, Practicum 2, and Internship. Those 3 classes are usually your last 3 semesters. That's when you'll have those classes. It's really nice because you can still use it after you graduate for 1 year. After that year is up, if you choose to continue using it, you can pay, I think it's $30 a year to keep your live text account going. Let's say it's 10 years down the road and all of a sudden you decide, okay, I'm needing to change jobs. I want to go back and use live text to create an electronic portfolio that I can share with future employers. You call them, you tell them what's going on, they reinstate your account for $30. So it doesn't matter how long it's been that you let it lapse, they'll still come back and have it there, okay? Live text is great for creating electronic portfolios. So at the end of the internship, you're looking for a job. You don't have to carry a big portfolio around to one superintendent, and then that superintendent or principal has that, and you can't share it with anyone else. This way, it's electronic. You can share it with several future employers at the same time. So live text has a lot of really good, cool stuff that we can do and use. Okay? Now, raise your hand if you've already purchased live text. Anybody have it with them and they can just grab it real fast? Is there anybody that didn't get to sign the clipboard? I also meant to say, if your name's not on the list, to write it at the bottom. So, okay. Would you just hold it up so everybody can see? That's what the Field Experience Edition looks like if you buy it in the bookstore. You want the blue copy. You don't want the orange copy. Notice how hers is blue. And the orange is the standard edition, and you don't want that. You want the blue one, the Field Experience Edition. You can also purchase this at livetext.com. It's the same exact price, but you'll go to livetext.com, click on purchase/register, and then the middle membership is what you want. The blue, once again, it's in blue, Field Experience Edition. If you accidentally purchased the wrong one, or you've had live text that you purchased several years ago, then email me and we can work it out on how to get you upgraded to the Field Experience Edition. One thing that's going to be really nice is that when you finish this course perhaps, you're ready to move into Practicum 1, then you can put your preferences, your first, second, and third choices there of where you would like to go, which schools you'd like to be placed at. Then that goes directly to the Director of Field Placement. She's able to see where you would like to be placed and start working on finding a placement for you. And so maybe it's over the summer, and then when school starts, she's got your placement figured out. So it works. It's very nice that it's going to work like that. Okay, if you go to live text and purchase it through live text, you have to have a credit card. If you don't have a credit card and that's what you really want to do because maybe the bookstore sells out of them, then talk to me and I'll tell you some other options other than using a credit card that live text has told me about. So if the bookstore runs out, this is an option unless you're one of those people that has to buy your books at that bookstore because of your financial aid situation. And if that happens, then we'll just have to figure something out, okay? While the bookstore orders more. So, questions about the textbook or live text? Okay, on the bookstore website, it says that you can purchase a used version, and that does not exist. Okay? When you're purchasing this, you're purchasing an account that's unique to you. Okay, the other thing that you need to be aware of is that you need to check your email daily. Not checking an email or not seeing an email is not an excuse for anything. I've had a student in the past that just wouldn't check email. Then she'd come in and she'd say, well, I didn't know about it. I said, well, have you ever checked your email? Well, yeah. And then I stand behind her and say, pull up your email, and sure enough, there was my email, unread. You know, she just hadn't, it was like she didn't think if she read it, if she didn't read it, that it didn't apply to her. So that's not an excuse for anything. Grading scale is the standard 90 to 100. You must earn an A or a B in this course. That's required by your degree plan. If you make a C, then you have to retake it. Okay? I put all of your grades in an electronic grade book. It's a website called Teacherease. It's free, and I want you to be aware of it. Also, I'm modeling what you're going to experience as far as electronic grade books. For example, you know, you will experience what the student or the parent might see as far as an electronic grade book goes, and you'll see how I use it as a teacher. Then in the future, you can actually have this as an electronic grade book to use. Maybe you're doing a long-term substitute position, or maybe you're doing internship and they won't let you have access to their grade book on the school website. So it will give you something that you can use. I won't set that up for a couple of weeks. I'll wait until schedule changes and that sort of thing settles down. Also, any work that's submitted in live text, which all of your work will be submitted in live text, you'll see your grades posted there as well. Okay, be sure to read about the academic honesty, writing, all those sorts of things. I'd like for everybody now to scroll on down to attendance on page 9. Be sure to read all of this, but I'm just going to kind of give you the quick version. Your attendance or lack of attendance tells me more about what kind of teacher you're going to be than the grade you make in this class. You know, you can't just decide, I'm not going to go to class today when you're teaching school. You don't have that option of just not showing up because you want to go hunting or you want to go to the mall. Okay? Now, when you're in college, you can skip classes. You can skip one class and attend the rest of them. It's your choice. But in this class, it tells me, hey, this person's probably not really serious about being a teacher. They're going to have problems. So, excessive absences could result in a letter grade deduction. I like to avoid that. Why? Because you got to make an A or a B to begin with. You know, I know other instructors that once you miss a week's worth of class, which is 2 classes for this class, because we only, a week's worth of classes would be 2 classes. You miss 2 classes, then on that 3rd absence, they knock your grade down to a B automatically, even if you had an A. I don't like doing that, so please don't make me do that. Please attend class. However, if you've got the flu, I don't want you to come to class, okay? I don't want you to be here. For one reason, you're going to give it to all of us. And secondly, it's going to take you twice as long to get well if you're trying to keep doing everything you normally do. You know, I know there's always something. Life intervenes. I know there's always something that's going to happen. And you're going to find yourself in a situation where you're on the way to school and, you got a kid that gets sick and you've got to miss class. Or you're feeling fine at 8 o'clock and then by the time our class starts at 11, you got to go home. Just email me, keep me posted about what's going on. And if you do, I'm going to say, okay,